Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent Meza, Listings to Leads, and today we're talking about how to get more listings with our system. I do want to just say right up front, this is recorded, and I'm going to show you where you can see these recordings later. I don't know how long you've been with us and how. So if you go to or if you scroll down, and help you capture leads. We can use Facebook ads. We can use free social media postings. We have 80, some for buyers, some for sellers. We have landing pages, again, some for buyers, some for sellers. And all those tools, including your listings, you can market with either email or with print or with free social media posts or with ads. If you look at the right side here, you're going to see we have a lot of tools that are going to help you convert leads, right? So you want to make sure you're using a whole bunch of these consistently. If you scroll down our website, you'll get a little more details, some graphics, but let's log in and let's look at what we have available to help us get more listings. The one thing I will say is we definitely our listing marketing is actually very powerful. Definitely it's powerful with social media. It's going to help you get more buyer leads than I think any other platform you're going to find. But it also is going to help you get more listings. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, that if you market your listing with your listings, you're going to get in there, right? You're going to get more listings. So we won't talk about setup and all those things, but before we do get too deep into the system, I want to point out that every one of you has a tab up at the top that says marketing calendar. And on that, there are 3 tabs. And definitely, I want you to get over to this page if you haven't been here before, because I want you to click subscribe to get to YouTube. I want you to follow us on Instagram if you are there. And I want you to click this button here that says Mastermind Group, join Mastermind Group. If you're not a member of this, it's a private group on Facebook for our clients. And so when you click here, it's going to have a button that says join this group, and please click that, and then we will get you into the group. This class is being recorded and it will be on our YouTube channel. And so you can subscribe here. And I definitely recommend subscribing, and also recommend subscribing to our shorts. And so our shorts are here. Last fall, Scott started doing 1-minute videos. And it's really these 1-minute videos are we get a lot of feedback from our clients. So he's taking ideas from our clients and boiling it down in 1 minute. This is what they've done. This is what they achieved. And this is how you do it in 1 minute. So our short section is really valuable. You can actually catch those on Instagram as well. But I'm going to click on this one here. So if we go to the homepage of our YouTube channel, let's see if I'm going to hear it. I don't get it. When you log in the first time, you're going to hear this guy talking. And I'm going to play this so that you can hear it, because this is actually the name of the class says how to get 2.2 listings. See if this will work.
We use listers leads on every single listing. You generate thousands.
That's not working too well. Dustin there is basically saying that they market every listing through our account and they get 2.2 more listings. Okay. So he's literally doubling his listings. This guy has a large team, 24 agents. He grew from a rookie to being that big at being a client of ours for 8 years. Just check out our YouTube channel. Check out Instagram. You can sign up for live classes here on livewebinars.com. And here's our YouTube station here. This tab here says videos. This is where I recommend everybody spend some time here. There's a really important class here that Scott did. It's a 6-minute video on how to avoid certain mistakes. He actually is really showing people how to maximize your leads. That actual call, though, is more focused on how to get buyers, but I highly recommend everybody watch it because you learn a lot in 6 minutes. Now, I did a class a few weeks ago called Top Tools for More Listings. So if you want to watch a recording there, because I know I sound like a robot, but I don't say exactly the same thing. I talk to a lot of people and my discussions are different. definitely get on this page. You can get here from the marketing calendar to our YouTube channel. Super, super valuable. Our platform can definitely help you grow your business as long as you know how to use it. So, since there are a lot of new people on the call jumping on now, I want to remind you we are on GoToMeeting. If you're watching this on a computer, on a desktop, there should be a navigation bar, and one of those buttons on there has a paperclip. And that paperclip, if you click it, it's going to have two documents. It's going to have Facebook and Google ads, like this one right here, and it's going to have Top Tools, some more listings, which is actually the name of this class. So I'm going to read through this so that we know what we want to be talking about, okay? What we're going to talk about. And number one, it says mail out the nearby homeowner letter to local homeowners. This is actually number one because it gets the highest quality listing leads. It doesn't get the highest volume, but if you like listing leads that turn into listing contracts, that's going to be pretty useful, okay? Then we say run Facebook ads on pending, under contract, and sold properties. I'll show you how to do that. Then we can create a property valuation page in each farm area, and then we can use Facebook and Google to run ads on that landing page. You can also run ads on Facebook and Google for your seller PDF guides. And I mentioned earlier that you do have 40 for homeowners. You're branded on every page. We'll go look at those in a few minutes. There are other ways to market the PDF guides: print, free social media post, email. There's also a home sold report, which is a piece of paper that you can mail to your market. It's attached to every home valuation landing page. And then just sold postcards are really good. I'll come back to that. These are just sold postcards. E-flyers for your listings through your own CRM. And then there's even a tool for your seller social media, which is really valuable, especially if you prefer referrals rather than just random internet leads. And the last thing on this page is, I think, actually one of the most important things on this page right now. I created this document probably 2 years ago, and it was before NAR threw all the buyer's agents under the bus, right? And so now everybody who's still standing realizes, hey, having listings is going to be way more important in my business. And so what was advanced 2 to 3 years ago, I think is now critical. It's core for every realtor who intends to be competitive in this industry for a while. So let's talk about that first. What does that mean, advanced? Upload homeowner custom audience. There are companies out on the internet. Remind.com is one, Arch Agent, redx.com, Cole Resource, Vulcan 7. These companies will sell you a list of homeowners, and that list should have name, phone number, and email and mailing address. So imagine that you have, for instance, you're in Pensacola and you have a list of homeowners with more than 5 years equity, and you have their name, phone, email, and mailing address. What can you do with that? Right? Those are the people that you want to hit, right? And you might have other farm markets. Let's just think of it as one. Now, if you go refer back to this document, which we can all download inside the system. If you haven't found this and you need to know where to download it, just send up a question to me. I'll tell you where to get it. So mail out the nearby homeowner letter, number one. Now you're mailing it to people who have more than 5 years equity because you bought it, right? You have that list. And then it says run Facebook ads on sold properties. You can actually create a custom audience on Facebook with that list now and target those people whenever you're talking about how you sell homes in that area, right? You can even create a property valuation landing page for Pensacola or for your core area. And you could even say, hey, I'm going to run a Facebook ad and target those homeowners with more than 5 years equity on Facebook and hit them with that property valuation page. It's actually very important. Now, you can also use the PDF guides. So essentially, you've got a list. Maybe you put it in constant contact. Maybe you put it in your CRM, and you take our e-flyers and you blast those people once a week. You take that list, you upload it to Facebook, and you run an ad in front of those people once a week. And you take that list and you mail something to them. Maybe our nearby homeowner letter, maybe our just sold postcards, or maybe our home valuation page, our home sold report that's on the back of your instant home value pages. So you want to mail something once or twice a month. You want to run an ad once a week, and you want to run an email to these same people. And since you bought it from whatever company you decided to buy it from, you already know they have equity. So these are the people that you want to target when you are trying to get more listings. I hope that makes sense. That's a really good place to start the discussion, right? So let's go over here, because once you're set up, when you log in, we don't drop you on a marketing calendar. We drop you on the dashboard, okay? And from here, what's this? Join us Monday. Oh, Scott did some live class. I think I saw it. It's in Facebook or something like that. Coming soon marketing. When you log in, you're always going to be dropped on this page, which is generate all leads. Click here where it says generate seller leads. Really, that's the point of this class. We want more listings. So let's click there. And this is going to tee everything up that you need, right? Running ads on Facebook, running ads on Google, marketing your sold listings, whether it's with print or with ads or e-flyers or pending or under contract. They're all right here. You've got multiple landing pages to get seller leads, so they're here. And the PDF guides are here, all the PDF guides. We've also got this email blasting thing. If this is relevant, you can use that. But this area up here, PDF guides, seller landing pages, marketing later stage listings, and running ads, that's it, right? It's all, that's where you get these tools that we're talking about on this page, okay? So before we get into the nuts and bolts there, I want to talk about this thing over here, which is a listing presentation, because the whole point of this class is to help you get seller leads, right? And our listing presentation is actually very compelling. We just transferred it onto Flipbook, which makes it really slick. But you can actually use this at a general level, and you can even use it at a particular listing presentation level. So when we click up here on listing presentation, you will see that we call it, for some dumb reason, property marketing plan here. But this is the PDF version, the print version of this, which is called a listing presentation flipbook. And this is just a lot more slick. So if you're going to go on a listing presentation, I highly recommend you print the one version and you leave it there with your business card when you're at the person's home or wherever you're meeting them, and that you present them the electronic version here, right, on your computer, on your laptop. Now, I'm on my listings page, and let's assume that you take this class, you start acting on this, and you start getting listing leads, and now you've got an appointment, right? If you have an appointment, go over to our system, add a listing manually, because it won't be in the MLS, hopefully, and have the status as listing presentation, okay? Normally, listings hit your account automatically, right? That's how it is for the bulk of our clients. But when you're in a listing presentation, it should not be active, so we can't pull it. But if you have it set at listing presentation, when you're creating the listing, you just need a few fields. You don't need like a deep, heavy stuff in here, but you do need one photograph. And when you get that photograph in there, you can download the listing presentation. You can also have the flipbook presentation. And in that generic one that I showed you, it's almost exactly the same, except now this one is about a particular home, and it has the photograph that you uploaded of the home, so that as you're going through the listing presentation of how you market, it's got their home right in it, right? And so it's just a little more relevant. This is what your home is going to look like in print. This is what it's going to look like on my letters, in my email marketing, and all these things. You can even say, hey, I create a QR code for every property, and your listing is going to be mobile optimized. Everybody uses their phone, right? You could literally sit at the kitchen table and say, why don't you scan that with your phone? And you can if you want to right now. And you're going to get a link that you can click on, and you're going to have a mobile optimized website while you're sitting there face to face with these people. And then it just goes through. So you should actually get familiar with this listing presentation, and you can create it at the listing level when you know you're going to have an appointment. There is the generic one, which is on the listings page, which I highly recommend that you print that, because if you look at it, it's just going to start to tell you what you have available to you. It doesn't mention listings to leads anywhere. It also doesn't say that we do half of this stuff for you automatically. It just says, this is what I'm bringing to the table to get you the most money for your home. So definitely make sure you understand that and you're using that and that you take that with you on your listing appointments. Okay, so that's number one. Let's go back to the dashboard and let's look at this chart. Mail out the nearby homeowner letter. Remember, I already said you've got a list of homeowners. So what is that? What is that nearby homeowner letter about? If you have a pending or sold listing, you can use that. So I'm going to click market listing. And you see all these tools we have, but number 6 down this list is a nearby homeowner letter. And that's what we want to have. I recommend having this on. This is going to pull some local sales data. I'm going to download it here so that we can look at it. This is a piece of paper, okay? We have an electronic version of this, and we have all kinds of like tools for getting listings. But this is a piece of paper that ideally you are mailing to people that have equity because you bought a list of those people somewhere, right? So here's what the letter looks like. It says, hey, we just sold a home in your area. You can scan this and go there and you'll end up becoming a seller lead. It's going to say that affects your home value and click here or take this piece of paper to your own computer and go here. Now, I'm going to show you where this landing page is. And if this landing page does not look like your area, you want to make sure you update it with a photograph that looks like your area because you're driving people here who don't know you. And if you're going to ask them for their address and contact information, you want to make sure it looks like something that they would recognize, right? So you're all over the country. I'm not quite sure. Maybe you're in Canada or Latin America. So make sure that stuff looks like your local area, okay? So our clients typically mail 1 to 200 pieces of this message out to people with equity, right? That's typically what they're doing. Now, there is a company here called Express Copy. We have a technology pass-through with them. And if you connect it, you'll have a button here that says print and mail. So if you don't have your own list from ArchAgent or Remind or RedX or ListSource or whatever, these guys have it. If you just click Get Mailing List from Express Copy, they're going to mail it to homeowners with more than 6 years equity in a radius around the current home that you decide on, right? You click that button, boom, they download it, they fold it, they put it in envelopes. It's coming from your address and going to their address. The only thing I don't like about this, I think this has almost been a 3-year partnership. The only thing I don't like about it is the envelope looks like bulk mail, right? It's computer printed and stuff like that. So I want to show you what our clients, now we're in the mastermind group. I want to show you what a few of our clients do, right? This is Pat Motley, who's probably been a client of ours, I think, for 14 years now. And if you go look for her name in this mastermind group, you're going to see that she's been chatting in our group for years and years. And she's always talking about this letter. This is the same letter, okay? And she does something I've never seen anybody do. After she prints 100, she flips it over and uses Microsoft Publisher, and she prints on the back. That little red stamp there, that's actually done by Microsoft Publisher, but it makes it look really local. So after she prints on the back, she folds them and she handwrites these envelopes. Why in the world would Pat go through all that when we can do it in 2 clicks with Express Copy, right? That's a 15-second project right there. This one is a 4-hour project, right? I'll tell you why. The first 100, which were just listed, got her 4 homeowners that they called her and said, I'd like my home value, right? They didn't even want to go through that exercise of going to their own computer and typing at it. This that we're looking at here is the just sold. So when she mailed this out, she got another 4 listings. So she took 1 home and 200 pieces of mail and got 8 listings out of it. That's pretty high return. That's why she goes through that sort of work. Now, 4 hours work, probably worth having 8 listings, right? She's in Louisiana, right? I want to show you this. Remember when we were just getting on the call, I was trying to show you a call from that guy with 2.2 listings. Dustin is an agent at Pearson Smith. You can see here in February, he's launched his own book about marketing and real estate. It's funny. I actually got this group of agents who called me and said, hey, we have this like club and we talk about what to do. And we found his book and he's talking about you. We all want to sign up. And so I had to do like a big kind of class for them. But when I first learned about Dustin, it was in 2018. He was a rookie at that time. Okay. He had only been in the industry for 2 years when he finds this, which is our tool. And he says, hey, I mail this with a calendar of me and my wife, first class to 250 homes. He even took Canva and made a little Zillow review page. He mails it to 250 homes. It cost him, I think, $600 first class, 625. He doesn't handwrite it, but you can see he's got black envelopes there. So hopefully people will not throw it away. And he got 10 listings with an average commission of $17,000 from that first batch. Okay. And he came in and said, this is our highest ROI in our business, right? Now, that was 2018. And as I mentioned, Dustin has now written a book. He now has a team of 24 agents, and he is the top agent in the office, Pearson Smith, of 1,000 agents. And if you go find him on our YouTube channel, he'll tell you, we go through that checklist all the time. That has been our number one tool for listings for many years. Not the highest volume, but definitely it gets the highest quality. If you mail out 100, you might get 2 or 3 listing leads. You got to work on them. You got to drop off some tools. You got to reach out to them. You still got to convert them, right? So when we're looking at a sold property from the print side, the nearby homeowner letter is good. Also postcards. I know that you can see here, we have them designed for every door direct here. I've seen postcards from realtors, right? And typically they've got your branding straight, right? You're going to say, hey, we sold this home. Here's the address. And on the back, usually it's going to have your logo, if it's not on the front, and probably your phone number. And you're hoping somebody's going to call you. But whenever I talk to people about these things, they usually say, I don't know, I'm not getting anything, right? That's why you want to use our designs, because I don't know if you can see it, but on the back, it says that's going to affect your home value. Go there and get your free home value. And on the front, there's a link to the single property website, which is also going to prompt a home value as well. And there's a QR code that they can scan on the bottom left there and land on the website on their smartphone and still get prompted to get their home value, right? That's a really useful thing. Now, I want to remind you, remember I said this page is integrated? This page is integrated on all those tools I just showed you on the postcard. So you want to make sure, again, that looks like your area, because you're going to be asking them for their address, and you want to make sure that, you get the best results. So let's talk about that. Let's go over to the landing page section over here. When you log in the first time, that landing page is right here. It's called Free Home Values. If you click on the pencil, you will be able to upload your own photograph, right? Or over here where it says background and upload image, you'll see that we have a few photographs as well. Here's stock images. So if these kind of look like your areas, typically I don't recommend putting a home in these things. If you want really great results, I recommend putting some sort of landmark that everybody's going to recognize from your area, right? But you can use one of those if you want. But that's going to be integrated in your print tools and many other tools, a lot of electronic tools as well. Okay, so let's go back to this. And we talked about the nearby homeowner letter. So let's talk about running Facebook ads. So if you want to run a Facebook ad, we're on the dashboard and we're going to click on generate seller leads. If you click on generate seller leads, every asset, every tool that can get you a seller lead is going to be on this page. So if you click on create Facebook ads, you could run a listing ad, like on a later stage home. You could run a landing page ad, like my free home value ad, or any one of the 40 PDF guides. Let's start with a listing ad. And let's start with a sold property. Always leave it on lead ads, okay? If you ever see traffic, I just don't even recommend traffic. Lead ads means that when somebody sees the ad, I'm going to click on create ad here. when they click on it, this little window pops up and it says, would you like that information? And the answer is yes. Yes, that's the only answer. But there's this form, and I'm going to click on this just to show you the form. You never have to click on this. This form has their name, email, and phone number, but as you see them as blank, they are pre-filled from the profile of the person who clicked on it. So I got to tell you, we've been doing this for 16 years, and each of you have more than 200 tools that capture leads. Nothing captures as many name, phone number, and email as a Facebook ad with this form. Okay. So there's all kinds of ways to get out there. You should use multiple ways. But if you're trying to build a database of people with name, email, and phone number, you definitely have to focus on this. Okay. And then there's the privacy and great, get your own value. Right. That's what it's designed for. So this is a sold property. All you have to do, you don't have to click on advanced options. All you have to do is say, okay, it's a $50 ad minimally, and it's going to run for 7 days. What I will say is there's a cost per lead. If you've ever run an ad on Facebook, when we say it's $50, that just means that's the max you're going to spend in the 7-day period. But what you need to know is what does it cost per lead? Because Facebook sets a price. And for this kind of ad, it's usually $7 to $8 each. Okay. So if let's just say it's 7, you divide 7 into 50, you would expect 7 leads with $1 left over. That's how it works. Okay. If you want more leads, you could change that budget to 100 or 200, right? Because that's going to get more leads with name, email, and phone number of people who want their home value. That's how that works. Let's go back and remember what other kinds of seller leads can we run on Facebook? We can run Facebook ads on a landing page, right? Like free home value. Now, I actually have a landing page here for Walnut Creek, and Walnut Creek is very near me. I'm going to type in the zip code so that the system will pull in recent sales data. Okay. And I'm going to leave it on lead ads because I definitely like getting name, email, and phone numbers automatically from the profile. And you'll see I've got a photograph. This is from the local mall. Like this mall, I think they said, I just read an article, like 6 million people go to this mall every year. That's a lot of people. With this town has 30,000, 33,000 people. And I'm going to type in Walnut Creek because that's what you would think you should do, right? It's Walnut Creek, and you can see 26 homes sold, 2 million plus was the high. That affects your home value. Click here for your home value, right? So most of our clients will not even go through the effort of creating a home value page for their number one farm market. They'll just go with that generic one there and lob it out there and be surprised that they don't get very good results. And the first reason why is this doesn't even look like their area, right? So that's why I'm saying create a home valuation landing page. I'll show you where to do that in a minute. And then change the picture so it looks like it, and then target the area. But you would think, okay, this is good to go. Click create ad, I'm good to go. Let me show you why this might not work. So Walnut Creek, it's a suburb of, what is the problem here? Of kind of San Francisco Bay Area, right? And if I go click on Google, let me show you why this might not work. Okay. And you got to apply this to where you live and where you work, because if I look here, this little, I'll circle it here. This area right here that I'm circling in, that's Walnut Creek. And you can see here that I can only go as tight as a 15-mile radius. Okay. So what does that mean in real life? That means that all these people that you see on this map, which is probably 2 million people, at least 1 million. Contra Costa County itself has 1 million, but these cities over here are dense. Let's just say there's 1 million people that are going to see this who don't live in Walnut Creek. So your ad actually doesn't work very well, even though you went through all this effort and you got a photograph. So that's why I'm telling you, hey, go buy yourself a list of people with equity in Walnut Creek. Then go over to listings to leads before you even run an ad and create a custom audience. Okay, so you bought the custom audience and you click create a custom audience up here. and you can call it Walnut Creek Homeowners, and it has to be 1,000 contacts long. So if you're in a small development, and you can do this in small developments, but let's just say there's only 600 names. You're going to need to get some names of maybe people who like live next in adjacent developments. It has to be 1,000 leads long. It has to have these 4 columns with those exact headings, and you need an email, phone number, first name, last name. Now, you don't need every email and phone number, but you need most of them, because they're basic. Facebook is going to, you're going to upload it. It's going to live in your Facebook ad manager, will not live on Listings to Leads. And it's going to triangulate, right? It's going to say, okay, that's their name, that's their email, phone number, that's the person. So now when you import this, it lives in your account, so that when you say, hey, I want to run an ad on, let's just see, this is a sold property, I want to run a Facebook ad. Actually, I'm not going to do this. Let's go back and let's do the one we were doing, the landing page ad for Walnut Creek. Instead of saying, hey, Walnut Creek in 15-mile radius, which you now know is going to hit 1 million people that it's not relevant to, we can click this button here that says retarget custom audience. And if you can type in the word Walnut Creek Homeowners, and if you have that list there, it would pop up. That makes Facebook incredibly powerful, because without that, it could be a lot less powerful, especially when you're running this kind of ad. When you're doing the home sold ads, it's not as critical. When you're running an ad that's specifically talking about whatever town you're talking about, that becomes very important. So that's the first use of that custom audience. Okay. Let's go back to the dashboard and let's go back and look at our list here. So we've run ads. So we said create a property valuation page. Let's go do that. So if we go to landing pages, don't forget, we want to make sure and click the pencil here and make sure that works. But you can also click this button up here that says create landing page, and Property Valuation Plus is the name of the page. So you could type in, I don't know, you could type in Annapolis. You could type in any word, any name of a neighborhood or of a city that you want. Okay. And it will, boom, create a landing page that looks pretty generic, right? With a coffee cup and a laptop, right? And that does not really instill trust that you know, in this case, Houston, right? But you're still going to ask somebody for their address and contact information. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there are a lot of scams out in the world today, right? I'm sure you've heard of them. You get them in your email, you get them on Facebook, you get them on your phone, your text. Pretty much any which way you look, there's a scam. So when you put something in front of people and ask for their address and their contact information, it better be compelling. And honestly, this does not look like Houston. This doesn't make me think that Houston. So you want to take a second and click that pencil over here, and maybe there's a mall, right? Maybe there's a really major landmark that everybody in Houston knows. You want to use that, right? You just upload the image up here and you add it, and then it's there. I have one here for San Antonio. That's the Riverwalk. This is Folsom, and there's a beautiful, that's a walking bridge over the river there in town. This is Release Valley, which is right next to me. And this little swimming club, it's at the entrance of that neighborhood. So you totally want that. You can see what I'm doing here, right? I'm putting relevant photographs on my landing pages. So if I'm using it in email, in ads, in print, people know that I know the area that I'm talking about, right? That kind of makes sense. Okay. So once you've done that, you can then run ads on Facebook and Google. And I actually just showed you how to do that on Facebook. I'll show you how to do that on Google in just a minute. I do want to jump down to number 7, which is the home sold report, because the home sold report, remember I showed you the nearby homeowner letter? I actually have a similar letter. If we click on marketing tools under, let's go to the Walnut Creek and go to marketing tools. There is something we call circle prospecting letter, circle prospecting letter. And let's just download it. Now, that button that says print and mail. So that means that Express Copy can, of course, mail this in a 1 or 2 mile radius of Walnut Creek to people with more than 6 years equity. So that'd be a good use of your time and money, right? But this is what the letter looks like. It says, hey, April home sales are in. You should edit this page at that point. and say, hey, 26 homes sold, the high was 2 million. This is going to affect your home value. Scan here to get your free home value. And you know what's going to happen. It's going to scan and it's going to take them to that page, right? Then there's another page here that says you can also see my reviews. Now, I'm just going to show this to you. When you see the client reviews page in your account, listings to leads, that's where you can add your reviews. And this is a pretty powerful page because we've got our marketing plan right here, which is our listing presentation. So if somebody is looking at this and they want to download it, no problem. Just give us your contact information, right? If we scroll down, we've got your favorite landing pages, the PDF guides I was talking about. They can download these too. Just let us know, do you own a home and what's your contact info? Your listings are also going to be here. So if they click on here, they're going to be dropped over on a website that again is going to capture leads. So it's all about lead capture here. This is the client review page. I'm just showing it to you because it's actually embedded in the home sold report, right? Which is on the back of every one of your landing pages. So you see this kind of ecosystem where we are keeping people in an area that can capture leads for you. Okay. And so you definitely want to be making sure you're optimizing all of that. Let's go back to this. And we went to number 7, but let's see, we talked about that. So let's talk about PDF guides, right? So let me close some of these pages because it's starting to get a little bit busy over here. And let me know, I don't see any questions. Are you guys tracking here? Do you understand what's going on? Let's go to PDF guides. So we talked about landing pages. There's actually a few other landing pages designed for homeowners as well, but that's the most important one, instant home value. If we click on PDF guides, you scroll down, you're going to notice there are 80. Now, when you sign up, your color scheme, your logo, your headshot, it all gets pulled in. And so these are going to they're going to be branded to you. If you click on seller PDF guides, you're going to notice that there are 40 of these. And you can click on marketing tools and you're going to see that you can run an ad on Facebook. You could run an ad on Google. You can share them for free to social media. You have an e-flyer for your database. So if you've got that list that you bought from whoever and you got in your CRM, you can blast them once a week with an e-flyer. You just copy the code, you drop it in the CRM and you blast them. That link, that photograph, you can click on that. You're gonna drop on a page and become a lead. You're gonna get that's a lead link, and that one is too. So one e-flyer has multiple call to actions, and you want to think about that because you probably have email, right? You probably have your company might be giving you email tools and stuff like that. And does it have anything more than your email address and phone number? Because that's what most real estate advertising is about. Here's my picture and here's my phone number. Call me whenever you need help. The reality in this is people are researching real estate for, 2 weeks to 2 years. If you're using our tools, there's all kinds of ways for them to get the kind of information that they want by just giving a little contact info up, and then you work on it from there. So there are postcards for all these. There's even print flyers. I will tell you this, a lot of our clients are realizing that when they have an open house, they are taking some of these PDF guides, some of them for homeowners and some of them for home buyers, and they're just printing up these flyers and they're putting them in those little like clear plastic tabletop stands. You see them at events and stuff, but they're putting this flyer in there and they're putting one in the laundry room. They're putting one in the office, one in the bedroom, wherever, because they might be standing and waiting in the kitchen, right? And now as people are walking through and they see something that maybe interests them, they can just download it for free right there, right? So that's a really cool thing that's happening with our PDF guides over at the open house level. But let's go over here on Facebook and Instagram and talk about that, because a lot of our clients definitely like to do that, right? 12 mistakes to avoid the lead ad. So I get pre-populated name, email, and phone number, $50. I don't really have to do anything. I just click create ad. That's it. Okay. Now, I do want to point out, remember when I said if you run a sold ad, those leads cost $7 each? When you run a PDF guide for homeowner, when you run this kind of ad, these leads cost about $10 each. And I forgot to mention it, But remember when we ran that ad on the home valuation page and I was doing like the Walnut Creek one? Those leads cost about $15 each on Facebook. Okay. So you're still running a $50 ad, or maybe you change the budget to 100. But depending on the kind of ad you're running, like a listing ad, your lead cost will be cheaper than running a landing page ad. Okay. So you don't always have to run ads on Facebook. We talk about it a lot because our clients like, certainly they get excited about marketing and looking like a rock star. They get more excited when they start capturing leads, but they get even more excited when they start earning money from commissions by converting leads. And when you're using our Facebook ad software, you're actually able to do more. You can convert more. I know I was talking to an agent yesterday and I'm actually going on a listing presentation from a lady who's getting a divorce. Like, and I want this. So she just printed this whole PDF guide and just brought it to the listing presentation. It's just got some high level stuff to think about. You just type in Walnut Creek, whatever your town is, and you let that ad go. $10 a lead, right? That sort of thing. If you do it on Google, which actually Google is a smart place to be using our seller PDF guides, those leads typically cost more, probably more like $15 to $20 each. Okay. So PDF guides, you can market that way. I didn't mention it on the landing page side, but let's assume that you created a landing page for San Antonio, Texas, right? And you put a really nice picture on the Riverwalk. Yes, you can run ads on Facebook, and yes, you can run ads on Google, and that would be a smart thing to do. However, one of our clients, and more of our clients are picking this up, they are taking this landing page and they're getting the door hanger, right? And they are downloading it and they're sending it over to Vistaprint. And actually, somebody told me that they're doing this on Amazon now too. I didn't know that Amazon had printers, so it's worth comparing the price. I know on Vistaprint, one of our longtime clients is actually printing these in groups of 1,000, right? And then he said it's just really cheap. And then he gives them to his agents and they walk the neighborhoods. They don't even door knock. They just hang these on the doors. And because people can scan and get their free home value, and now you got a conversation, you can start a conversation. So that's really a great way of doing that, right? If you're in a neighborhood that you can walk around, that's going to make a lot of sense. If it's a neighborhood where you got to mail things, you've got a letter for that too. And you know that Express Copy can do that for you. So let's go back and make sure we're not forgetting anything. So we talked about that. Mailing the sold report, just sold postcards, marketing PDF guides. I do want to say this, one more thing about PDF guides. When I showed you this document and I said, you need to run an ad in front of this custom audience of homeowners in your area. You need to upload that list from Remind or wherever you got it. And you need to email them, right? Every one of these PDF guides, and there's 40, every one of these has its own email, right? And so you can copy this and you can blast those people. So think about this. Let's say you're trying to build your business in, who knows, Pensacola, right? And you're probably competing against what, 5, 10, 20,000 other agents. What are you going to do? And our suggestion here is you get a list of people who have equity, you upload it into your own CRM or in your constant contact, and you start sending an email once a week, maybe twice a week. I've actually was speaking to a realtor a couple of weeks ago who had 14,000 leads. She's been in the industry. She goes, I got 14,000 leads. I'm like, you should be hitting that database twice a week. If you're playing with 200 to 500 leads, maybe once a week is just fine, right? But you've got PDF guides for buyers and sellers. You should be just alternating back and forth every week on that. And then since you've got that list uploaded to Facebook, now you can run other ads to those same people. And then you're mailing something like a nearby homeowner letter, or you're mailing a just sold postcard to people, again, with equity. Really, that's what you're doing to maximize getting more listings. I hope this is starting to resonate with you. Okay. So let's go back at our list and make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Just sold, blast flyers. Oh, seller social media tool. Yeah. This is actually really pretty interesting. So if we go to our listings, you know that there's a listing presentation. You know that if the property is sold, you can mail like a just sold postcard or run an ad. But let's look at this. Let's start on the open house, right? Now you would think, what does an open house have to do with getting more listings? It actually has a couple of things that are very relevant. We're going to email, when you save an open house, we're going to email you an email. We're going to say, send this to your homeowner. And most of you will ignore that. You just won't even bother, right? You're just so busy that you'll ignore it. But it actually gets some really high quality leads for you. So if you have an open house, we would be sending you this message. Okay. And I'm going to just print it. And this might be confusing because my name is Vincent Meza, and you're going to see this post talking about the agent. Hey, we're having an open house, and Vincent Meza at LDL Realty is doing this for great turnout, right? And comment, right? Or please share, right? So if you click in here, there's all kinds of lead capture, right? It's a landing page. It's going to, let's just click on it. Let's just go look at it. It's going to say, hey, here's my open house. And I want to show you, there's a couple things in here that are totally relevant. It's a link that says, what is your home worth? You know what that is, right? That's your landing page. If you scroll down this page, it's going to have the marketing plan, the listing presentation, which, yeah, they can download as long as they give you their information, right? So you got seller lead capture there. What is your home worth? Remember how I said, make sure that key landing page looks like your area because it's going to be auto embedded. There it is. Now, this is the lead capture for the open house, right? Because there's an open house coming up soon. So the PDF guides, they can download those. They just got to give up their contact information. We sweep in your listings, your reviews, so they can read more about you. And there are the rest of your listings, right? So that's all happening from a free post that we email to you, right? And you're going to be able to send that to your client and say, hey, please put that on your wall, right? We got an open house, right? We actually create this for you when it's just listed, open house, pending, and sold. So imagine that instead of ignoring the tools we're sending to you, you actually use, right? And now, if you've done it when it's just listed, and you've done it again when it's open house, and then let's just say you just use the next one that's sold, there's 3 posts on Facebook that your client is putting on their wall, not you. And you know who's going to see that? Those 3 posts? Their friends and their family and their colleagues on Facebook, right? And what's really awesome about this is it does not disappear like a Facebook ad. A Facebook ad will last 7 days, right? Or whatever, longer or shorter, you decide. But here it says, hey, our home is sold and we want to recommend you. And here is your phone number and email in front of all my friends and family and colleagues. So not only have you been telling them, those same people, that you are their realtor, or that they're telling their friends that you're their realtor, they're also saying you're great and you sold their home and here's your name and phone number and email. We actually have people in the mastermind group coming in every once in a while and saying, I'm getting seller leads. I don't even know how. I'm not running ads. I'm not mailing anything. What's going on? And then we go look, and sure enough, they're using these and they don't disappear. Your clients, friends, and family, they might log in 2 or 3 months later and go, oh, so-and-so sold their home. Cool. Boom. And they click on it and boom, suddenly they're a lead and you're talking to somebody who you already work with their friend, right? So definitely seller social media, nearby homeowner letter, just sold postcards, super valuable, right? And I think that's it for my story today. We're going to start by getting a custom audience, a list of people with equity. We're going to mail to them. We're going to upload that list into Facebook. We're going to run ads on those same people. And you're going to upload that list to your CRM or Constant Contact, and you're going to send emails. Once you're all done with that, you get yourself a nice sandwich board and you walk around that neighborhood. You don't maybe need to do that. But there's a lot of tools here that are free, electronic, can be used on social media. There are tools that you can use in your email. There are tools that you can use in print. And if you're trying to build a very solid listing business, definitely get familiar with the dashboard and generating seller leads on this dashboard. And always go back to the YouTube channel and get refreshed on this. Now, I do want to say this about the YouTube channels. I've been yammering on here for about an hour. Scott does a class. This one here is marketing pending, right? That's open house, but he'll do some kind of like detailed parts of seller lead cost, right? But I do want to remind you that in order to convert a lead, having a lead with name, email, and phone number, it's critical, right? It's just because if you point somebody to a page like this, and let's say you got a nice picture of Houston, the first thing you're going to get is an address. And when we ask people for their email address so we can give them the home valuation, they just leave. They don't want to even give that to you. And that's just human nature. That's just where we are. As we know, there's all kinds of scams out there. And I'm not putting my name and address and contact information anywhere, right? So that's why we talk a lot about Facebook, because those leads come up. I'm back in the mastermind group. I want to show you something here if I can find it. Those leads come up with name, email, and phone number automatically. And they're not typing them in. They're actually pulled in from the profile. And I want to show you something. This is from one of our clients. And he's talking about, and it's funny, we actually just did a call. There's a call with him over here. I'll show you. And we're going to clean it up and make it shorter, but we did a live call with him last week. Where is it? This one. So yeah, struggling with Facebook ads. Unlock the secrets. It's actually, I like Craig, but some of the nuts and bolts of really what's going on, you have to listen to a lot to get to that, but it is very valuable. But here's the gist of what he is saying. He's saying, hey, him and his team have run $2,000 worth of ads. They're really concentrating on buyers here. We have generated 575 leads total, right? They did this in a 2.5 month period, right? So they're running $50 ads. And he says, we've already closed 2 and 3 more are pre-approved. Actually, that number has grown because this is almost 2 weeks old, I think, or a week old. And he goes, so we've got 18,000 in GCI and another 27,000 in short-term pipeline. And we're going to have more closings out of this list. That is from Facebook. He's also using the AI text, and I want to speak briefly about that. So if you're getting leads, and let's say you're like, hey, I'm going to focus on Facebook ads because I want to convert leads into business. You're going to get leads with name, email, and phone number. And if you're like most agents, you're going to think I need to call those people immediately. And if you remember anything, you're going to remember what I was telling you about scams in this world, right? And what that means is nobody is going to be giving you any really awesome feedback when you call them. They're going to be like, I don't know what you are talking about. That was something else, wrong number, whatever. When they see the ad, their name, email, and phone number is sitting right there, and they are submitting it. They're not even typing it. They're just clicking yes. The issue is they don't want to talk to you because they don't know who you are. And you may not know this, but there are 3 major ways to convert leads: email, phone numbers, and text. And what do you guess is the number 1 way to convert leads? It's starting with text. Starting with simple questions. Hey, I see you're looking at that home in Walnut Creek. It's a 3-2. Is that going to work for you? But the point is we have AI text, and this is converting 10% of our leads with phone numbers for either buyer leads or sellers. It does cost $100 a month, but you don't have to use it. But if you are generating leads with name, email, and phone number, please text them. Okay. And for Craig and their team, they got 575 leads. I just don't think they have enough time to be texting those. And that's why they're using our AI text to convert leads into business. So you can do it however you want to do it. Use print tools, use Facebook, use Google. You already know that Google is like key, right? It's the number one website in the country. And that's because 86% of all questions on the internet, 86% of all people will go to Google to ask a question, any question. Where do I get new tires for my car? Where do I get a martini? Where do I get a good steak? And how do I sell my home? All that happens on Google 86% of the time. And this is actually one of those areas where I feel like realtors get ripped off all day long because it's crazy. It's the worst interface. What we just had a client do this one, 12 mistakes to avoid. So I'm going to create this ad. To create an ad on Google is actually really not easy at all. It's really difficult. You need to know a lot. And that's why most agents don't do it. And for the agents that do it, they're paying somebody dumb amounts of money because they can't do it themselves. Right here, you can do it very easily. You choose the tool that you want to market, like I did. I used a PDF guide. You could use a landing page, like what is your Walnut Creek home worth? You type in the location and you click create ad. That's how easy it is. It is a more expensive lead. If you're in Dallas, Texas, and you're running a what is your Dallas home worth ad, those leads cost $30 each. If you're in Pennsylvania, they're like $22 each. Utah, 17. If you're in Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia, they are $300 each per lead. There's a reason why you don't need to get into it, but that's in US. And so it's expensive, right? Google's the number one website. They charge accordingly. Now I'm going to click on advanced options so that you understand why it's so difficult. You need to have the keywords that people are going to type into the search bar. We have our own resources to see what are the biggest keywords being typed in there. You also have to write multiple headlines. You see this blue section here that I'm highlighting? Those are called headlines. You have to write minimally 3. We write 8. You also have to have different descriptions. Now, Google's going to take these and rotate them every time they show your ad until they triangulate on the one that's getting the most results. So you need to know how to write all those, get all those keywords, write your descriptions. You need to know how many characters, all that stuff. Most people can't do it. And that's why Google Ads cost thousands of dollars to realtors. We do it all for you automatically. The software is an upgrade. Google software, it's $30 a month. It's free for 30 days. If you're really going to be in the listing game, you need to have Google as part of your strategy. No two ways about it. That is the number one website in the country. Facebook, number 3 website in the country, but really low-cost leads, and our clients are converting those leads, so we don't want you to ignore Facebook. E-flyers are free. Print has a cost, but high quality. When you're mailing to people with equity, a piece of paper that says, go get your free home value, and they go through that hoop, that's a high-quality lead. So everybody, I'm going to give you, since you're here, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to go give you 4 names that I want you to go search in our mastermind group. Pat Motley, we looked at her stuff. Dustin Fox and Chris Winstead. Brian Matheson actually ran an ad in Texas, got a $4 seller lead on a sold property. Go look at his video. Converts it into a $400,000 listing and then buy another home for $450 for the same gentleman. From one $4 lead, $850 in volume from one sold ad. Chris Winstead, this is the guy who we learned about in that first COVID summer. He moves over to Texas with his wife and kids, and we learned about him here. And he says, hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months, and I just moved to this neighborhood from out of state, and I wanted to dominate this neighborhood, so I'm borrowing listings from my agents in my office, and I'm mailing out nearby homeowner letters every 2 weeks, and I got 5 listings in 3 months. Read about it in the comments. That's how we learned about him in 2020. He becomes the top listing agent in that office. 2 years after that, starts his own office, and the very first thing he does is starts his own YouTube channel for recruiting, saying, join me, and I will tell you how to customize listings to leads to get more business. You should actually go find his channel. Chris Winstead is his name, because I'm sure he has a lot to learn. Naomi, I don't know the answer for Los Angeles. There's a question here about what is the lead cost in Los Angeles. You have a lot of competition. My guess is it's going to range on Google between $20 and $30 each for a home value add. I think that's your question. So I don't really have stats there. I really only have these stats because I talk to people and they're telling me what's going on, what their lead costs are. So any other questions? Thank you guys. I know I ran on a little bit late. I appreciate you staying with me. Any questions about what I've talked about or anything else on the platform? Daniela, do you have a question there? I see your hand raised. I don't see anything. So everybody, thanks. We do have a great support team. Definitely lean on them. Get in our mastermind group. Check out those 4 names I was telling you. And also check out this mastermind group 5 or 10 minutes a week. Just scan through and see what's new, what's happening, what other agents are doing. You're going to get a lot of insight of how you can leverage are using this. So everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Take care. And I don't see any questions. Thank you, Christine. I hope this helped everybody. And we'll talk soon. Have a great summer. Oh, wait, what? Oh, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Bye, everybody.